Teammate Coco Crisp will be in the lineup tonight as we open up a 4-game series.
We lost our whole outfield and our DH. But, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and complain. That's part of the game. We have to continue to battle. I mean, it's an opportunity for some guys to make a name for themselves. And it's not easy, and they know it's only 6.5 games. We got a month to go. I mean, they've seen it many times. We talk to them and explain to them how things can change in a week, just like it happened to us.
From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, the homestand continues tonight as the Indians welcome in the Oakland A's for the first of 4. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Interesting matchup over the next 4 games because you've got 2 teams, Rick, that are very similar offensively. They have both struggled to score runs.
Yeah, when you look at Oakland, you look at Cleveland, very, very similar. The batting averages, the runs scored. The Indians have averaged a few more runs. They've out-homered them, but they've also struck out more. And time shutout, you don't want to look at that number because we'd be here all night long playing if no team scores. But there will be some scoring going on. Oakland swinging the bats much better lately, and the Indians, they've just had a lot of injuries, so they've just had a tough time scoring.
No question the injuries have piled up for the Tribe, but as Manny Acta said there in the open, you can't sit around and dwell on that. You've got to look at what's at hand, which is still a possibility to get back in the race. David Huff will take the mound for the Tribe tonight as we look at our pitching matchup brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today.
Brandon McCarthy on the mound for the A's tonight, 7-6 this year. He's been very, very good after the All-Star break and has also pitched very well against the Indians in his career with Chicago, Texas, and now with Oakland. David Huff, on the other hand, coming off a terrible start. He pitched scared in that Detroit game. He walked 4. He was not an aggressive guy like he was in his very first start against the Minnesota Twins. For him to be successful tonight, he's going to have to pound the strike zone, get ahead of the hitters, and throw that new curveball and a changeup and see how successful he can be. He's 1-1 against the A's in his career.
And for the Indians to be successful tonight, they'll try to do something they've never done before, and that's beat Brandon McCarthy here at Cleveland. And because he's 4-0 here at Progressive Field in his career. We'll be back with play-by-play action. It's coming up next right here on Sports Time Ohio. Back here at Progressive Field where the Indians and A's are ready to lock horns for the next 4 games. David Huff on the hill for the Tribe tonight making his warm-up tosses. And that will give us a chance to look at the Oakland Athletics starting lineup here tonight. Leading off, the rookie second baseman Jemile Weeks. Coco Crisp in the 2-hole. Hideki Matsui batting third. Josh Willingham hits cleanup. Brandon Allen fifth. Connor Jackson sixth. Then it's Kurt Suzuki, Cliff Pennington, and Scott Sizemore.
David Huff will be making his fifth start of the year, his sixth appearance. His record is 1-2, a .270 earned run average, coming off a rough start against the Detroit Tigers, where I thought he pitched a little frayed to throw strikes to that lineup, but he better not be against this Oakland lineup. He's got to get ahead and move it around and see and get them to swing at his pitch. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. Duncan Carrera and Fukudomi in the outfield. Chisenhall, Cabrera, Phelps, and Laporte on the infield with Santana behind the plate.
Rob Drake to call the balls and strikes. Crew chief Gary Darling at first. Bruce Dreckman at second. Alan Porter down at third. Indians check in at 65 and 65. A half game behind Chicago now in third place in the Central Division. 6.5 games in back of front-running Detroit. Bob Melvin, who took over for Bob Guerin this year for Oakland after Guerin was fired. And Oakland has played better baseball. It's been a little better since the All-Star break. But overall, just 60 and 73 on the year.
You know, they've been decided where pitching really dominated for them in the first half, and now their offense has picked up and their pitching's gone south a little bit. So it's been a weird combination for them. Normally they're a very strong pitching team, although they're still up there when you look at the league overall. A .372 earned run average, which is fourth in the league.
Jemile Weeks looks at a ball outside, and it's 2-2. Weeks has hit in 5 straight. The younger brother of Ricky Weeks. Jemile Weeks was actually drafted by Milwaukee back in 05, but did not sign. He was an 8th-round pick that year, and by passing up that offer, he went back into the draft in 08 and was a first-round pick of the Oakland A's. They really like Weeks and feel like he's going to be a good player for them for a long time. Speed and athleticism. 2-2 pitch. A little chopper. It hit off his foot.
It sure did. It was solid.
Rolled all the way out to short.
Yeah, and the way he was hobbling, don't ask him that question. Yeah, right off the ankle. Sure did. That got out there, for going off the bend. That rolled a long way when you look at it.
2-2's outside, full count. Weeks leads American League rookies in triples, tied for second in stolen bases, third in doubles. Back out of play. We just saw a couple of very talented Royals rookies in the last series, Mike Moustakas and, of course, Eric Hosmer. And earlier this year, we saw the big bopper from the Angels, Mark Trumbo.
Right now, probably the leading candidate for the Rookie of the Year is Trumbo, and a close second is Hosmer, I believe.
Fly ball to center field. And Ezekiel Carrera camps under that, one away. Going to bring up Coco Crisp, former Indians outfielder. He's tied for the league lead with 37 stolen bases, a career high. And he looks at a ball down low. Tonight's Ion 4 Powerade rankings show you that he's tied with Brett Gardner of the Yankees and one in front of Jacoby Ellsbury. Back out of play, 1-1.
Well, Coco will be a free agent at the end of the year. They have a number of guys in this lineup that will be. Matsui, Willingham, Coco.
I think David DeJesus.
DeJesus, that's
He's not
correct.
in the lineup
He's not,
tonight,
right.
but yeah,
that is true. He should be a free agent at the end of the year. He's not playing against the lefty. He always played against lefties when we played him when he was with Kansas City because he always seemed to do something against the Tribe. But not in the lineup tonight. Jackson is out in right field. Connor Jackson.
Yeah, he's a .305 career hitter against the Indians. Down and in, 2-2 to Coco Crisp. David Huff into the line on the 2-2. Missed with that full count. This is an Oakland offense that on this road trip that started in New York against the Yankees and then went to Fenway to play the Red Sox. Their offense averaging more than 6 runs a game on the trip. The 3-2. Line towards center. That will drop for a hit. And the A's have a 1-out base runner here in the first. And tonight's injury report, a little bulky. And Jason Donald scratched before tonight's game with a right index finger contusion. Shin-Soo Choo still has the ailing back. And then you see the 15-day DL guys. For Oakland, reliever Michael Wirtz is on the 15-day DL, and then a couple of key pitchers on the 60-day DL for Oakland. Hideki Matsui hitting .258, 11 homers, 64 driven in. That's up high, 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, I know it's been like 9 days since his last start against the Tigers. But David Huff, a guy that has to find the strike zone and stay aggressive. Right now, he's all over the place.
Back over the screen. Matsui has cooled off here over the last couple of weeks. But since the All-Star break, he's hit .342. And that's compared to a .209 average before the All-Star break.
Boy, they really play him. I've never seen a shift like this for Matsui, so he must be trying to pull everything. At least on the ground.
And it's 3-1 to Matsui. Just recently hit the 487th double of his professional career. A little more than half of those came while playing in Japan. Interestingly enough, Ichiro Suzuki has 485 doubles in his pro career. Popped him up. Foul. Santana. Basket style catch. 2 down. With more on Indians starting pitcher David Huff, let's join Katie Witham for the first time tonight.
Well, Matt, Rick, David Huff is the type of starting pitcher that especially thrives off of routine. Now, you mentioned his last start was in Detroit. That was 9 days ago, guys. Before that, he pitched 2 very good innings, then got rained out. Then he came out of the bullpen, which, is a completely different situation, and that really disrupted his schedule and mentally threw him out of whack, Tim Belcher told me. Now, we saw the result of that when he pitched in Detroit, but he is back getting his consistency going again, and they expect to see him pretty sharp tonight.
Lonnie Chisenhall throws out Josh Willingham to end the first inning, so David Huff works around the 1-out single. Indians coming to bat. The Indians will come to bat against Brandon McCarthy here in the bottom of the first inning. And Maniacta's starting lineup is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Ezekiel Carrera in the leadoff spot, followed by Kosuke Fukudome, and then Asdrubal Cabrera. Jim Thome, Carlos Santana, and Shelley Duncan occupy the middle. Lonnie Chisenhall, Matt Laporta, and Cord Phelps round it out.
Brandon McCarthy will make the start, his 20th start this year, 7-6, 372 earned run average, 125 innings. Now, this guy's in uncharted waters. He was supposed to be a good pitcher for a long time, but he's, finally stayed a little bit healthy. He did come off the DL. He's pitched very well since that point. He's 6-1 in the second half. He's 4-0 in this ballpark against the Indians.
Ezekiel Carrera looks at a ball in the dirt. You mentioned the A's, how their offense has picked it up in the second half, but that pitching staff has compiled an ERA of over 5 since the break. Though McCarthy has really pitched well in the second half of the season. And there's a strike to Carrera. The 2-1. Missed down low with it. 3 balls and a strike. Taking all the way, full count. McCarthy, what has allowed him to be successful here at Progressive Field, he hasn't given up many hits. A 198 batting average against in his 4 starts here at Progressive Field. A little bit outside, and it's ball 4. So a leadoff walk for Ezekiel Carrera.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot Oakland A's defense tonight. They are rated last in the league. They have made 106 errors. Willingham is in left, Crisp in center, Jackson in right, Sizemore at third, Pennington at short, Weeks at second, Allen at first, Suzuki behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Kosuke Fukudome. He takes the first pitch.
That's
strike.
one pitch that McCarthy picked up and has started throwing since he's been in Oakland. I was talking with Ray Fosse before the ball game. A cutter. He always had the good curveball, a fastball, and changeup. Well, now he's starting to throw that cutter, and you'll see that a lot, I think, to the left-handers. They guessed right.
Pitch out, throw down, and they got him.
Fifth time Carrera's been caught. But they guessed right that time. There's not much you can do as a base runner unless when you take off, sometimes if you feel like there may pitch out on you, you can peek back in after your first step and see what that catcher's doing. And sometimes, and that comes with the maturity and games played and trying to steal bases, where you can peek in, and if you see that catcher step out, you can go back.
Fukudome takes a strike. It's 1-2.
But they had a feeling, and they guessed right.
Out of play. It remains a ball and 2 strikes. Fukudome on the homestand has gone 8 for 26. With a double, a homer, and a couple of runs driven in, he has scored 7 runs. McCarthy's 1-2. Hit off the end of the bat towards third.
Forget about it.
Sizemore with the bare hand grab and throw, but not even close. An infield hit for Kosuke Fukudome.
That was like a perfect bunt. Right off the end of the bat. And I mean perfectly. He was playing very deep. Sizemore comes in with a bare hand, but really no chance. So an infield single for Fugidome.
Going to bring up Asdrubal Cabrera. Asdrubal, 4 hits in his last 9 at bats. Fouls that over toward the A's dugout. Oakland played a day-night doubleheader at Boston on Saturday to get the games in ahead of the approaching storm, and then they were here yesterday to spend the day. Cabrera with a ground ball, backhanded at first by Allen. His throw ends up getting the out at first.
Well, he didn't panic. He was going to go to second and get the lead runner, and then all of a sudden in the transfer he dropped the ball. So he still kept his composure, and McCarthy did a nice job to at least get over to first base and get the out. You see, he wanted to throw to second, but McCarthy's there, so it was a good job. No panic. But the Indians get a runner in scoring position now.
And that runner is in scoring position for Jim Thome. Thome 1 for 8 since coming to the Tribe, and 1 hit being a home run. Big chopper to first. Allen will take it himself, and that'll end the first. No score after 1. By McDonald's, the Mango Pineapple Real Fruit Smoothie has arrived. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. Back here at Progressive Field, no score, second inning. For Oakland, it will be Brandon Allen, Connor Jackson, and Kurt Suzuki. Allen has 7 hits and 26 at-bats on this road trip, but he has punched out a dozen times in 6 games. Man, a big swing and a miss.
He hit a ball when they were in Yankee Stadium into the third deck.
You can see with that swing, he's trying to generate a lot of power.
The only other guy to hit it up there was Russell Branyan. So if he's anything like Russell, I'm not saying he is because we haven't seen him. He could be a swing and miss guy. He either hits it a real long way if you find that nitro zone, or else swing through it like that.
Huff gets his first strikeout, 1 down here in the second.
Let's check the location on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker here. Fastball elevated above the belt and away. Gets him to swing through it. And David gets his first strikeout tonight.
I'll bring up Connor Jackson in an 0 for 18 slump. Looks at a ball down low. One ball, one strike. Jackson has started 82 games at 4 different positions. 43 at first base. 23 games. This is now number 24 in right field. 14 in left, and twice he started at third base. A little bit outside. It's 3-1. Strike called on the inside corner, and now the count is full at 3-2. Huff's payoff pitch. Low, ball 4. 1 out walk. Brings up Kurt Suzuki and gives us a chance to check out the AT&T trivia question tonight. The Indians had 2 Gold Glove winners in the 1970s. Can you name them both? We'll have the answer coming up in a little while. Here is Kurt Suzuki, 236 average. Taking a strike. He has hit a dozen homers with 22 doubles. He's hit 277 since the 4th of July. He went through just a really rough stretch. And he went too far. From May 18th through July the 3rd, Suzuki hit just 158.
You know, that's rare because this kid, you know, normally swings the bat very well. He's just having, I guess, one of those years. He was hitting 4th earlier in the year when we were there, wasn't he? 3rd or 4th when we first played him, and we were there in May.
Bounced it in front of Santana, and that's going to enable Jackson to go down to second base. So the wild pitch puts a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
This one, I wonder if it was a changeup because it was way out, or it was a breaking ball way out in front of the plate, about a 55-footer. Nothing Santana could do. He did his best job to just stay in front of it, deflects off. But this is one category with this year that David's been very good at. With runners on base, hitters are hitting just 179 this year against him.
Fouled back, it's 1-2. Bounce towards third, but that's going to go foul. And again, it stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Suzuki, if nothing else, is durable. He was 3rd among American League catchers, or is 3rd among American League catchers in games started this year. He was 2nd among catchers in the American League in starts a year ago. The 1-2. Now back out of play again.
You know, you look at Suzuki, and he certainly doesn't have the body or the looks of a catcher, a guy that'll go behind the plate and get back there 130, 140 times a year.
You know, last year, even though he was second among catchers in starts, he still missed 19 games on it with the disabled list. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. Huff gets his second strikeout. 2 down here in the second inning.
Elevation again. He got that pitch up again. Look at it at the Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. About the same location it was to Allen, who started this inning off. Fastball up, away. He swings through it. Second strikeout of the inning.
Cliff Pennington, switch hitter, batting 8th, takes a strike. Breaking ball fouled back. And the 2-strike offering is fouled out of play to the right. So Pennington stays alive. Pennington on this road trip for Oakland has gone 9 for 24 with 7 runs driven in. Down and in, a ball and 2 strikes. Oakland had a chance to sweep the Yankees in New York, and they were winning that last game of the series 7-1. Then the Yankees had 3 grand slams and beat them 22-9.
They woke him up.
They poked the bear with a sharp stick.
22 runs.
I mean, that doesn't happen very often where you've got a 6-run lead and end up getting just waylaid.
No, a couple of times a year, I think throughout the whole game of baseball does something like that happen.
Just spoiled that one to stay alive. The Yankees finishing up their series tonight in Baltimore. They lead the Orioles 1-0 in the second inning. Kansas City on top of Detroit 2-0 in the second at Comerica Park. White Sox are at home tonight against Minnesota. They'll be underway in about a half an hour.
Well, for David Huff already, this is only second inning, 43 pitches, but they're falling off a ton of pitches.
Line drive to right field, and a nice running catch there by Fukudome to end the threat. So Huff works around a 1-out walk, and we go to the bottom of the second, no score. Shelly Duncan and Lonnie Chisenhall due up for the Indians. Santana pops it back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he hits that high and foul. Santana has gone just 5 for 25 on the homestand. He has drawn 4 walks, driven in a couple of runs. And he's out looking to start the 2nd inning. Minor league report tonight brought to you by Kia. Jared Gettert stays hot. 3-run homer, his 13th yesterday, and an 8-5 win for the Columbus Clippers. Mike Sarbaugh's club, 84 and 53 on the year.
Boy, and you know, for Mike Sarbaugh, that the guys that have jumped. How many guys have we taken up here and gone up and down all year long? So he has had to. I'd like to just get a look at the number of different lineups he has used down there. You talk about up here. Yeah. He's used a ton down there as well.
Shelly Duncan sends a fly ball to center field where Coco Crisp makes the catch, 2 away.
Well, you don't want to miss out on your chance for you and a guest to watch a game with Mike Hartgrove at the Grover Suite here at Progressive Field. Tickets are only $20. 5 winners will be drawn. Stop by the Cleveland Indians Charities table behind section 153 at any home game and purchase your raffle tickets.
Here's Lonnie Chisenhall hitting .244. 3 homers, 8 driven in, 9 doubles. Curveball misses. Chisenhall in his last 5 games has gone 5 for 11. Missed outside, 2-0. That just did catch the outside corner, 2-1. And he smokes that just foul on the right side. Chisenhall has batted .294 here at Progressive Field while hitting .208 on the road, so he's definitely felt very comfortable here at Progressive Field. Back. And the 2-2 is a big hopper to first where Allen makes the play. And the Indians go 1-2-3. We head to the 3rd, no score. No score. Scott Sizemore, Jemiah Weeks, and Coco Crisp due up for Oakland. One and one to count.
Sizemore, a guy that came from the Detroit Tigers, going to Oakland this year.
Traded for David Percy, relief pitcher out of that Tigers bullpen now.
No, is he still with Tigers, or I think he got traded from Detroit?
In the hole, long throw by Cabrera.
Nice play.
And he gets his man at first base.
This is a good play. It gets in on the trademark, but Cabrera able to get there. Didn't have to set his footing. He made a nice, strong throw. Plenty of time.
Jemiah Weeks flied to center field his first time up. I think he's still with Detroit because he just gave up a home run last night.
He did. Then he got called up. He wasn't with him when we were there. He was down, I think, in Toledo. And then he may be back up now.
This bloop down the right field line, and it drops. Weeks around first on his way to second, and he'll go in standing with a bloop double.
Perfectly placed. Double number 18 for Weeks.
Yeah, Minnesota beat up on Detroit yesterday.
Well, you see he gets inside and he just slices that ball, gets down and in and hits it out of there, but that ball stays fair. That had plenty of time, and then it just rolls to the side of the stands, and Weeks cruises into second base with a one-out double. Second hit for Oakland.
Coco Crisp, base hit his first time up. Sends a fly ball to center field. Ezekiel Carrera makes the catch. Weeks will tag. He'll head to third, and he'll go in sliding safely.
So he can run a little bit.
Two down now. Let's check in once again with Katie Crisp tonight. Katie Crisp.
She got married early.
With Katie with them. Oh, boy.
Hey, guys. I spoke with Sandy Alomar earlier today about Ezekiel Carrera and kind of his mishaps he's had recently. And he told me, you know what, he's a guy that has all the tools. But in all honesty, he shouldn't be here right now because he's still developing and still learning. His biggest problem right now is he's trying to do too much, whether it's running the bases or out in the outfield. And also he's lost that aggressiveness because he's afraid to make mistakes. Now, as far as where he's playing in the outfield, whether or not it's too deep, he's playing exactly where the coaches have positioned them after looking at the scouting reports, guys.
Thank you, Mrs. Crisp.
Oh, boy. Hideki Matsui fouled out his first time up. He bats with a runner at third and two down and lifts a lazy pop to short. Cabrera is there, and the inning is over. We'll head to the bottom of the third, no score. Bottom of the third here at Progressive Field. No score. Matt Laporta, Cord Phelps, and Ezekiel Carrera.
Kids taking in a ball game. They got their homework done early. Already back to school. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
I mean, you think about it, we've got this brief road trip to Kansas City, and then we come back home. It's Labor Day.
I know. 3 days out on the road. This is winding down, man. 30 games left after tonight, right?
Yeah. This is game 131.
Okay. 31 after tonight, then.
Matt Laporta, 11 home runs, 18 doubles. Takes a pitch outside. It's 3-0. And talking about that next homestand for the Indians, it's just a brief 3-gamer against Detroit. A Labor Day 105 game, and then Tuesday 7 and Wednesday 12 p.m. start time. So big 3-gamer the next time the Indians come home against Detroit.
Yeah, this is the big homestand, the longest of the year. When you had the makeup game, the 4 against Seattle, 3 against Kansas City, and the 4 here against Oakland. Didn't quite turn out like they wanted it to, at least to this point.
Trying to get off to a good start against Oakland, which is something that they've had a tough time doing for whatever reason over the last several years. Laporta, a swing and a miss, and he strikes out. Second K for McCarthy, 1 down here in the 3rd inning. Once again, let's check in with Miss Katie Witham.
Well, guys, the Indians trying to make it to the postseason, and right now, fans, you can guarantee your spot here at Progressive Field for any playoff game with the Playoff Payoff program. All you have to do is make a deposit towards 2012 season tickets, and you're guaranteed the opportunity to get playoff tickets here at Progressive Field. Check it all out online right now, guys.
Thanks, Katie. Here's Cord Phelps taking a strike. In the last 19 meetings between the Indians and the Oakland A's, Oakland has scored first in 18 of the 19 games. The 1-1 to Phelps. Out of play. Phelps not in the original starting lineup tonight. He was added to the lineup after Jason Donald was scratched with a contusion to his right index finger.
It's amazing how many guys are going down. They get an opportunity to play, and boy, it's just one after another.
Phelps goes down swinging. Third strikeout for McCarthy, 2 down here in inning number 3. Wednesday afternoon, join Bruce Drennan, and all bets are off live from the Canfield Fair. He'll be joined by Youngstown State basketball coach Jerry Slocum, Mahoning Valley general manager Jordan Taylor, and many more guests. See Bruce live from the Canfield Fair Wednesday afternoon at 3. For more information on the Canfield Fair, visit canfieldfair.com.
Bruce is fresh off his vacation.
Yeah, where'd he go, to Tennessee?
Yeah, he was down in Tennessee. Learned how to play a banjo and do a few different things.
Oh, is he up in the Smoky Mountains? The 0-1 to Carrera. Fouled off his foot.
Out on a canoe trip.
Ezekiel walked his first time up. He was thrown out trying to steal second. They want this up high, and he strikes him out with it. McCarthy whiffs the side here in the 3rd. No score through 3. Man, is there a full moon tonight or something?
No, not till the 13th.
Oh, boy. Josh Willingham, Brandon Allen, and Connor Jackson for Oakland here in the fourth inning. Willingham grounded to third his first time up. David Huff has allowed 2 hits through the first 3. He has walked 1, struck out a pair. Right now, the only thing he wants to do is be a little more efficient, try to conserve a few pitches. 2 quick strikes will help. Down and in.
One thing they've been able to do so far, which has made David throw more pitches, they fouled off a lot of pitches with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
You know, and he's been able to get ahead, but they make him work. Uh-oh.
That is deep and foul.
Whew. How could you tell? That went over the pole. That was hard to see, but it was foul.
I thought it went just in front of the top of the pole.
I told you they were fouling off a lot of pitches. And there's a good one to foul off.
That's a loud foul ball.
Oh, boy, it sure was. He tried to throw that fastball by him upstairs, and you can see that one clearing the tower. That's hard to tell.
Just in front of the top of the pole.
That went a long way. 10 two-strike foul balls the A's have hit tonight. Tommy stays on that.
Curveball got him looking.
There you go. There's the equalizer.
Third strikeout for Huff, 1 down in the 4th.
It's a good curveball now. And you know that's what you want to throw after he does the damage with the high fastball. Let's go with that little 77-mile-an-hour curveball. And I mean, it was at the perfect spot, down and away at the knees, and that'll make you shake your head as a hitter. He's just upset he missed that home run.
Brandon Allen with that violent swing fouls it straight back. This guy puts the bat in motion, man. He's not messing around.
Elevate it. He looks like that left-hander. You get it down in his zone where he likes it.
Allen came to the A's from Arizona in the Brad Ziegler trade. Amazing how many offensive players all of a sudden Arizona's produced here recently.
Well, they're having a good year.
Well, and the kind of depth where you can afford to trade a guy like this who obviously has some pretty good power potential.
And they've made a few moves between the organizations, Arizona and Oakland, over the years.
Almost chased. Alan Porter said he didn't go. A little bit outside, 2-2. Liner to short right at Asdrubal Cabrera, and we've got 2 down in the 4th. Cleveland Browns single game tickets are now on sale. Packers and Lions visit Cleveland during the preseason, while the Dolphins, Titans, Seahawks, Rams, and Jaguars visit during the regular season, along with the division rivals, although the Bengals and Steelers games are sold out. Visit clevelandbrowns.com or call 1-800-745-3000 for more information. Connor Jackson drew a walk his first time up. Bats with 2 down here in the 4th. Royals now on top of the Tigers 5-2 in the 3rd inning in Detroit. One pitch. Out of play. So the count now 1-2 on Jackson. High chopper. Huff with the flip. And Jackson's struggles continue now. 0 for his last 19. The A's go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the fourth, no score. Bottom of the fourth here at Progressive Field. No score. Kosuke Fukudome as Drupal Cabrera and Jim Thome for the Indians. Pitch to Fukudome is bounced to second base. Jemiah Weeks throws to McCarthy, covering at the bag for out number one. Let's go back to the studios for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, you're just talking about the Tigers game. Here's how Kansas City went ahead. It was 2-0, bases loaded against Scherzer here. And Johnny Giavotella cleans him off with his double in the top half of the third inning. That made it 5-0 KC. It's now 5-2. They're in the bottom of the third. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. We'll be watching that one closely tonight as Drupal Cabrera steps in now for the Indians, 0 for 1. Fouled over toward the Oakland dugout. Pops over into the seats. Cabrera and then Jim Thome for the Indians here in inning number 4. And Cabrera strikes out. That's 5 now for McCarthy. 2 down in the 4th inning. Here's our great clip of the weekend. Jim Thome on his 41st birthday, going deep. His first home run back as an Indian, and a salute to the crowd. Relax, you're at Great Clips. Jim steps in here with 2 down and the bases empty. Takes a pitch low for ball 1. like he got caught in between, almost a half swing, and fouls it back. Missed inside, 2 balls and a strike. The 8th member of baseball's 600 home run club. And a liner, short hop by Pennington with the shift on. He throws out Tomey. And the Indians go 1, 2, 3. And Brandon McCarthy has retired 11 in a row. By United, proud to fly the Cleveland Indians, and by Panini's. Like Panini's franchise group on Facebook for your chance to win giveaways and prizes. We move to the 5th inning, no score. David Huff about to make his 69th pitch of the night. Down low for ball 1. 10 out of 16 in the first pitch strike category. Popped him foul down the right side, but nobody can get to it.
Send out some birthday wishes. Bill Amuma of Columbus is 101 years old today. Bill, happy birthday. Congratulations. And Millie Skufka of Menor is 96. Ed Swinder of Perry is 82. Happy birthday.
This scoreboard update brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers and the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. Ford, drive one. Kurt Suzuki struck out his first time up. A little bit high and wide, 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1 is a high pop. Shallow left, Duncan. 1 down. Well, the way this game is going right now, Rick, it's probably going to be another close one. And the Indians have already played 12 one-run games in the month of August. Only the Tigers, Cubs, and Reds have played more, and they've each played 13 one-run games in the month of August. And the last time the Indians played 13 one-run games in any month was August of 19 78. You guys had 15 one-run games that month.
Yeah. We couldn't score either.
And you went 4-11. So I mean that's a lot of tough, close losses, and a lot of those I went back and looked. A lot of them were 3-2, 2-1, 1-0.
Score.
Check swing, roller towards third. Chisenhall throws him out. 2 down.
Well, Lonnie Chisenhall coming in, breaks in for this ball, just a check swing. So he gets it. Gets rid of it in a hurry, right on the money. He's had a very, I've been surprised. He's had a very accurate arm at third base over there. It seems like almost every throw, he has made one mistake, big deal, everybody does, but everything has been right there.
Scott Sizemore cuts and misses. And it's quickly 0-2. Still no balls and 2 strikes for Scott Sizemore. He couldn't help himself. Strikes out. 4 Ks for Huff. He's gone through the A's lineup twice tonight without allowing a run. Bottom of the 5th inning, no score. Carlos Santana, Shelley Duncan, and Lonnie Chisenhall for the Tribe. Brandon McCarthy walked the first batter of the game and gave up an infield single to Kosuke Fukudome, the second batter. Since then, he's retired all 11. Striking out 5. Including Carlos Santana, who leads off the 5th. Kansas City now leading Detroit 7-3 in the 4th inning. 1-1 to count. What was that? Sounded like a werewolf, didn't
I
it?
didn't see Teen Wolf here tonight. He might be out in the bleachers. He may be giving us a call.
Swing and a miss by Santana. It's 1-2. It almost sounded like a werewolf sound effect from the scoreboard. Telling you, there's a weird something's going on tonight. Keep the sharp objects out of reach. The 1-2. Might have cracked his bat.
He sure did. We can finish up our birthday wishes tonight. Bernadette Massey of Concord is 62, and then we have Marlo Massey, who is turning 1. And then Phil Shellhorn is a day or two down the road. We're going to wish him a happy birthday tonight from Greene, Ohio. He's 65. Happy birthday to each and every one.
Also, happy birthday wishes to Nancy Reed. Watches every ball game on TV and celebrating her 77th birthday. Brandon McCarthy with a 1-2. And Santana punches a base hit into center field. So that stops the string of 11 in a row retired by McCarthy. And the Indians get their leadoff man aboard for the second time tonight. Our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. David Huff has retired 11 of the last 12. And as I just told you, McCarthy had retired 11 straight. It's been a pitcher's duel so far here tonight. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Shelley Duncan flied to center his first time up. Checks on a called strike. And it's 1-1. No score, 5th inning.
Well, I like that little swing that Santana put on the ball with 2 strikes after he cracked his bat, came in, did not try to pull that pitch, just sort of stayed back and slapped it up the middle for a base hit.
Duncan fouling it back, and he's down on the count 1-2. The 1-2 is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2 and a little tapper toward the Indians dugout. With Carlos Santana at first base here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Shelley Duncan awaits a 2-2 pitch from Brandon McCarthy. He deals, and Duncan fouls it off again. Shelley said afterwards yesterday, remember he was in that bases loaded situation in the first inning, and he went after that first pitch after he just walked in a run.
Right.
And he popped it up, and he said, I just felt sick afterwards. You know.
Well, you could tell he wanted to snap that bat. He was very upset. But, I mean, you do things like that. You get over anxious.
Double play ball to short. Big hop for Pennington. 2 weeks for one. Double clutched and still throws him out.
Well, tailor-made. He gets the big hop, the underhand, and the double clutch still in time to get Duncan going down the line. So that's a double play ball. The 126th turned by the Oakland A's. And that is the 89th. You know, that's one thing the Indians, they haven't hit into many. 89, that's the third fewest in the league.
There's a drive to center field by Chisenhall. Pretty well hit. Chris back in, makes the running over the shoulder catch in deep center field.
Boy, good angle.
To end the inning. Scoreless through 5. To pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat.
Well, David certainly going through the lineup now for the third time made the adjustment. The first time through the lineup, 48 pitches, they had 15 foul balls. The second time, 31 pitches, only 7. So he made the adjustment to get through that lineup. Now you're getting into the mid part of the ball game. Still giving up just 2 hits.
That's up high. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. Jemiah Weeks had the 1-out double in the third, but David Huff was able to work around that. 3-1 the count. A sky-high pop. Left field foul territory. Cabrera's there, and his dribble puts it away. 1 down. Well, let's get the answer to our trivia question tonight, courtesy of AT&T. Well, one of those Gold Glove winners is sitting right next to me.
The other one is sitting right next to me, except a booth away. Raymundo, Ray Fosse.
A pair for Fosse in 70 and 71.
There he is. You shake hands with him, man. He's still got the vice grip,
yes,
huh?
he
How
does.
about those hands? The old catcher. What a great guy. Good ball player. Great ball player. He was the Indians' very first draft pick back in 1965. He's been with the A's for quite some time, doing the games on television and also does radio.
Coco Crisp 1 for 2 with a base hit in the first inning. Huff ready now with a 1-2. And he had Coco out in front, pops it in the air. Almost the same spot as the last one.
He's going to let Chiz have it, though.
Yeah. 2 down. And that's going to bring up Hideki Matsui 0 for 2. Matsui looks at a fastball strike over the outside corner. And Huff's 0-1 pitch, curveball. Matsui able to lay off as it dips low. Lines one the other way. Down the line it goes. This will go to the wall. And Matsui will go to second base.
See, that's when
the 2-out double.
I remember Matsui when he was on top of his game. And, of course, it's been a long time when he was in New York. But he would use the whole field. It sort of surprised me to see that shift. But here you see, just takes the double the other way. 2 strikes. It was a fastball up. That helps you with the ball elevated a little bit to take it the other way. Gets it to the wall, so a double, 2-out double for Matsui. That's number 23 for him. And be careful here with this guy. This is the one guy that can hurt you. You got the lefty on deck.
Well,
they're just going to go. Yeah,
walk
that's
Willingham.
Okay. That is okay. Second walk by David Huff. There was a lot of talk about this guy at the trading deadline where, they thought he was. Everybody thought he was going to move, but they didn't trade him. He's a free agent at the end of the year. They want to try and sign him.
Well, he was that one commodity that so many teams were seeking, that right-handed power hitter.
Exactly.
I'm sure Oakland wanted, they wanted a pretty good return on.
Well, I'm sure they did, and they also now he's the only really pop they have in the lineup. They may want to keep him, but does he want to stay? That's the question now.
Tim Belcher will go to the mound for the first time tonight with 2 down here in the 6th inning. 95 pitches on the night for David Huff. He had retired 10 in a row before Matsui lined that double to left field. So even though he's made a lot of pitches, he's been in a pretty good rhythm for the last several innings. Hasn't really had to labor. He retired Brandon Allen by striking him out in the 2nd inning. In the 4th, he got him to hit a line drive at Asdrubal Cabrera, the shortstop. White Sox have jumped out to a 1-0 lead on the Twins. In the 2nd inning, they're at U.S. Cellular Field. Meanwhile, in Detroit, Kansas City leads the Tigers 7-3 in the 5th inning. 2 on, 2 out, and the pitch is strike. And it's up high, 1-1. Curveball able to lay off. 2-1. Now the 2-1. Bounced on the ground to first. Backhanded there by Laporta. He'll go to the bag himself. And that ends the top half of the 6th inning. Oakland strands a pair. Still no score. Bottom of the 6th, no score. Matt Laporta, Cord Phelps, Ezekiel Carrera for the Indians. Brandon McCarthy has allowed just 2 hits, 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 5th. Sandwiched in between, he has struck out 5. And Laporta really pulling off the ball, 0-1. Missed outside, 1-1. One and two.
Well, a little pulling off. That head's flying. He's got to concentrate and maybe think right field. Everybody's been, he's been able to spot that ball away to a lot of the hitters, and you have to stay with him. I mean, there's that little cutter. There's not, not much you can do once you get down to 2 strikes. Shorten it up.
popped out of play. Do you get the feeling after last night or yesterday afternoon, Royals pitching retired 26 of the last 28 Indians batters in that game, and the way things are going tonight, do you get the feeling the offense has slipped back into that every guy is trying to do it himself mode?
Well, absolutely. It's like when you don't have base runners and things like that, everybody's trying to do too much. You know, they're swinging at everything, and they won't take a walk.
6 Ks now for McCarthy, 1 down on the 6th, and it's time for our Miller Taste Greatness moment. When the Indians' offense is struggling, you call on Dwayne Kuiper.
How about this?
To the left-hand batter. He drives one down the right field line. Headed for the wall. It's gone! Dwayne Kuiper just hit his first major league home run. How about that? Hey, look at Dwayne on those bases.
Joe Tate and Herb Score with the call of Dwayne Kuiper's first.
How about that?
Only major
first
league
and
home
only.
run.
That's exactly right.
1977.
I think Pat Murray was there too.
Is he directing?
Yeah, he was directed. If it was on TV, he was directed.
Cord Phelps is swing and a miss. That home run came off Steve Stone.
Yes, it did.
3 years later, he would win the American League Cy Young Award.
Yes. Well, it's funny because working with Ray Fosse over there is Dwayne's brother, Glenn Kuiper, you know, who does the play-by-play for Oakland. And they showed it on the pregame show. And, you know, how many times when you see Dwayne Kuiper, yeah, I mean, he's known for that. Only one home run, and he's taken the abuse. And but, I mean, if he would have hit 2, it wouldn't have been as bad.
Right.
I mean, so only 1, that's the way to do it. He was smart.
It's memorable, more memorable that way.
Sure it is.
The 1-2 to Phelps, another strikeout. 7 now for McCarthy. 2 down here in the 6th inning. Well, I was talking earlier about the 1978 team being the last Indians team to play in more than 13, or playing. This Indians team has played in 12 one-run games this month. The last Indians team to play in more than that was the club you played on in 78. They had 15 one-run games in the month of August. So as I was going back and looking over that month, you did have one memorable game, though, where you blew out Chicago 10-1. You beat Steve Stone, ironically enough.
Well, he was talking too much. We like to beat him.
He pitched 6 innings. Now think about it. 6 innings. He gave up 10 runs on 12 hits.
Wow.
In the 6
Took
innings
advantage of it.
Rick Waits was the beneficiary that night, as Ezekiel Carrera singles in the left field. You went 3 for 4, pal, and Dwayne Kuiper had a triple off Steve Stone in that game.
Wow, we got to bring that to Chicago when we go. We got to tell Stoney that.
So he homered off him one year and tripled off him the next. Meanwhile, Ezekiel Carrera gives the Indians a 2-out base runner, and we'll see if with his speed he can get into scoring position, although he was thrown out trying to steal in the first inning, but that was aided by a pitch out where the A's, they guessed right.
Well, this is another time where you want to take a chance. I mean, they did guess right, but so what? If you can get a chance and get a jump, you got to go. I mean, Oakland's obviously going to pay attention, and they may pitch out again. But the way this game's going, there's 3 hits by each team. You have to take a chance. There's 2 outs. And he is pretty quick to home plate, too. So it's going to be tough no matter how you slice it. But one thing Carrera will learn as time goes on when you get around a base stealer, that'll teach him when you're going off, getting your lead and you're going to steal a base, you can take off. And after 2 pitches, for your first 2 steps, you peek in to see if that catcher is going out for a pitch out. And you can stop and get back. Because when the catcher hears, there he goes, his first move is to come up and go to second base. It's not to stop. You know what I mean? So he's going to either throw the ball or he's going to.
Right.
He will not be able to get you. But that's the other thing that people don't realize. When you have to steal a base, that's the toughest time. That's when you're a good base stealer. In times like this, when the other team knows you're going, they're paying attention to you, and you're still able to go get it. There it is.
Driven
Score.
into the right field corner. Carrera around second. On his way to third. He's going to be waved home. Weeks with the relay to the plate. He is safe at the dish. Carrera slides in and tumbles safely The Indians have a 1-0 lead as Fukudome drives in his 10th run as an Indian with his 9th double.
Boy, that's exactly what the doctor ordered there. The first extra base hit by the Indians. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. He tried to throw that little cutter inside. Fukudome turned on it, got it right down the line. Jackson gets over there in time, hits his cutoff man. It was 2 good throws, but the speed of Carrera able to score from first base with 2 outs. And gets the hand on home plate, and the Indians will take a 1-0 lead. Very nicely done.
Now is Drupal Cabrera 0 for 2. Looking for that 2-out RBI hit. And a huge swing and a miss. You can see as Drupal, as he turned away, almost fell.
He
like
hurt
blood.
his hand. He hurt his hand on that swing. Look at him. He's shaking the right hand. That was like inside, a pitch inside that went down and in. He swung over the top and hurt his hand.
First hit of the game with a runner on base, and it drives in a run. And now is Drupal down on the count, 0-2. And he strikes him out. 8 Ks for McCarthy, but the Indians get on the board first with the RBI double by Fukudome. 1-0 Indians.
The Indians on top, 1-0 after a Kosuke Fukudome RBI double. Wednesday, we will be filling the house for charity as the Tribe takes on the A's for Game 3. $1 from every ticket sold will go to support Our Lady of the Wayside. If you're thinking about bringing the family, log on to Indians.com right now. Check out the Grand Slam 4-pack for tickets, food, 4 Indians baseball caps, and parking. Literally, it has everything you need, and it definitely is a great deal. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. We're going now to the 7th inning here at Progressive Field. Tribe with a 1-0 lead. And the Verizon call to the bullpen. Brought to you by the Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world.
Well, this Indians bullpen has been lights out over the last 18 games, a 1.68 ERA. So it's Joe Smith's turn out there to try and hold on to a 1-0 lead going into the 7th inning.
Jared Head takes over in left field for Shelley Duncan. And the first pitch to Connor Jackson is outside ball 1. Jackson has walked and grounded out. Bounced foul, 1-1. Kansas City still leading Detroit 7-4. They're in the 6th inning in the Motor City. White Sox lead the Twins 1-0. They're in the 3rd. in Chicago. Oh, good pitch by Joe Smith. And he gets ahead 1-2. Jackson, then Kurt Suzuki and Cliff Pennington here in the 7th. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. One down here in inning 7. We'll go back to the studios for an in-game update. Here's Al Pulowski.
All right, Matt, let's go to Motown where the Tigers hosting the Royals tonight in Kansas City with a couple of home runs here in the 4th inning. This is the first one of his career for Salvador Perez, and then it was Alcides Escobar back-to-back. 7-4 now, top of the 6th in Detroit. KC is in the lead. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Those are the two
8,
guys
9.
you wouldn't think of.
8, 9 hitters in that lineup. You're right.
Kurt Suzuki 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out and flied to left. Pitch inside. Murph tells us the 8 and 9 hitters for the Royals tonight have 5 hits and 6 RBIs. Doing some damage. Strike called over the outside edge, 1-1. Left-hander Tony Sipp up and getting loose in the Indians bullpen.
Well, they say you can never have a letdown. You know, you get through those top 6 hitters they have up in the lineup are pretty darn good in Kansas City. You let up and you see what happens. You got to make quality pitches. Whoever has a piece of wood in their hand can do damage to you at the big league level, believe it or not.
You know, and again, it goes back to give you an idea how good a job Justin Masterson did yesterday without great stuff, without his A game, and yet he still limited them to just 2 runs. Bouncer to first. Laporta. 2 down. Hey, check out what's in store for you at STOstuff.com. STO hats, t-shirts, bobbleheads, the I Love You Cleveland talking chip clip, and so much more.
I got to get one of those.
Shop now at STOstuff.com.
The talking chip clip.
I'm surprised that the talking chip clip doesn't say, "Don't eat my chips."
Don't even think about it.
Cliff Pennington 0 for 2 tonight. Left-hander David Huff went 6 3-hit shutout innings tonight, striking out 4, dropping his ERA down to 2.08 in his 5 starts. A little bit outside. Joe Smith looked like he needed a moment to gather himself there. 2-1 pitch. And it's in there for a strike, 2-2.
Boy, Joe Smith has been so good this year. I mean, the lefties, the righties, he has really had some kind of solid season.
Got him looking. 1, 2, 3, 7th inning. Terrific job by Joe Smith. And it's time now for the Cleveland Clinic 7th inning stretch. Indians fans, time to get up and let's move it. Brought to you by Levin Furniture, home of Sealy's Posturepedic mattress, made in Northeast Ohio. And by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. It's time to join the Hyundai movement. Jim Thome looks at a ball down low. Thome 0 for 2 on the evening, is grounded to first and grounded to short. But when he grounded to short, that was on the right side of second base. They've got the shift on, where Cliff Pennington, the shortstop, is over near second base. And a little dribbler. Pennington again will throw him out. One down. The Gathering Place supports, educates, and empowers individuals and family members who've been touched by cancer. Every Indians home run this year means Rick and I are donating $5 each to the Gathering Place, while Great Clips donates $50. Our total so far this season, over $7,000. For more information, visit touchedbycancer.org. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Carlos Santana 1 for 2, singled his last time up. Santana fouls it back. Last two birthday wishes tonight. Judy Rothenberg celebrating her 39th birthday in Chicago. She got back to Cleveland, was here Saturday to see Jim Thome's first home run back as an Indian, and now she's back home in Chicago rooting on the Tribe. And also happy birthday to Jeff Sherilla, celebrating his 35th birthday today.
Oh, Jeff Sherilla used to play with the Brewers in San Diego.
No,
oh,
not that Jeff. This is Jeff Sherilla.
Okay.
He also happens to be the vice president of the Pittsburgh Browns backers, so he's living across enemy lines. The 2-1. Santana with a long fly ball, deep center field. Chris back, looking up, gone. Carlos Santana's 20th home run of the year makes it 2-0 Cleveland.
Well, that ball jumps off his bat, doesn't it? He puts a good swing on it. Carlos Santana, number 20. You know, the time before he tried to pull it and then he broke a bat and put a great swing on it. Now watch this pitch on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. There's a little two-seamer trying to sink it away, and he left it up, and Santana put a hurting on it. He kept his bat through the hitting area for quite some time into right center field, and that's the big 2-0, number 20. Look at it, he can't believe it. One quick one, it's 2-0 Tribe. It's only the 8th home run given up by McCarthy this year.
Jared Head's first at bat tonight, fouls it off. And it's 0-2. He took over for Shelley Duncan, who went 0 for 2 in the ball game. He dropped his bat. I think he was surprised it didn't hit him. I think he was expecting the worst.
Very well could have been. Well, you're right. He was looking out over the plate, and there he had nowhere to go but back.
Down low with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's your welcome to the big leagues moment right there, maybe. Brian Fuentes warming in the A's bullpen. 2-2. Outside, full count.
Indians trying to do something they haven't done to Brandon McCarthy.
Beat him here.
Beat him in this ballpark. Exactly right.
His 90th pitch of the night coming up right here. And Head strikes out. 2 down. 9th strikeout tonight for McCarthy. Like Panini's Franchise Group on Facebook for your chance to win giveaways and prizes. $18,201 the attendance here at Progressive Field tonight. With 2 down and the bases empty, Lonnie Chisenhall steps in. He's 0 for 2. Flied to deep center his last time up.
Yeah, he did. He hit it a long way, hit it hard, and Coco ran that ball down.
One and one to count. The 9 strikeouts from McCarthy ties his career high. Fouled into the A's dugout. He also struck out 9 July 31st against Minnesota. Now the 1-2 back out of play. Now the right-hander into the line on the 1-2. Good cut by Chisenhall, but couldn't quite square it up. And now 95 pitches on the night for the Oakland right-hander. Grounder to second base. Weeks throws him out. And we go to the 8th. It's now Cleveland 2, Oakland nothing after Santana's 20th home run on the year.
The express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Eighth inning, Joe Smith stays in, and Scott Sizemore 0 for 2 on the night with a foul ball. It's 0-2, and Jack Hanahan is now taken over at third. Curveball outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Almost chased after it, but able to hold up. There's a long fly ball, deep left, and it's off the scoreboard. And into second base with a leadoff double is Scott Sizemore. He drilled that right into the heart of that out-of-town scoreboard off the left field wall.
He sure did. That right hander. Let's look at the location on the Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. It's slider that stayed right there, and he put a good swing on it. That said hit me, and he sure did. He hit it left center field, and out comes Manny Acta. For Sizemore, that'll be his 19th double.
Watch when the ball hits the board. Right on contact. Boom.
Okay.
Almost knocked the panel out.
Knocked a few lights around, didn't it?
Well, Joe Smith exits. And we've got a timeout as Tony Smith is coming on here in the 8th inning. In the 8th inning. Oakland has their leadoff man at second base, and Jamal Weeks coming to the plate. He's a switch hitter. So is Coco Crisp, the on-deck man. Then Hideki Matsui is a left-handed hitter to follow. So they go to the lefty, Tony Sipp, on for the 60th time this year with an ERA of 2.70. Coco Crisp and Jamal Weeks, both much better hitters left-handed. So you turn them around to the right side where their batting averages dramatically dip down. Weeks 1 for 3 tonight.
Wow, they didn't even waste any time. That's Tony Sipp's fault for not even paying attention to him out there. And I mean, as a middle infielder, you have got to at least keep him honest or keep him close. And that's really the best time to steal a base. Watch this. Nobody. Phelps is over there, but didn't keep him close enough. And, I mean, he's off and running. And Sizemore's not a burner, but that's the best time to run is when that guy comes in from the bullpen to make his first pitch because he's trying to get ahead of the hitter with strike one. That's just a lapse in Tony Sipp right there.
Weeks takes another strike. It's 0-2. Jamal Weeks, from the left side of the plate, a .317 average and 1 for 3 from the left side tonight. From the right side, just a .255 hitter. Got a piece of that to stay alive.
Got another piece of that one that went down and got him on the foot. Remember, leading off the game, he fouled one off his foot. It rolled out to second base. Now he's going to beat up the other foot.
He got a piece of it. It got a piece of him.
Right. That's the bouncer, and hit him in the shin on the back leg.
I saw Derek Jeter, I think, in the highlights, did that
Yes,
last night. Hit one off his right knee.
Yep.
Two-strike pitch. Jammed him, fouled out of play. He's done a terrific job. You can't do much better than 7 out of 8.
That's exactly right. That's pretty darn good.
Infield back. They'll trade the out for a run. Sip looking for a pop-up or a strikeout. Almost chased after it, but Weeks able to hold up, and a good job by Santana to block it.
Well, there you go. He was able to just knock it down, keep it in front of him. You know, when you call that slider, you have to anticipate it being a bad one. If you're a catcher, you got to expect that ball to be in the dirt, so you're ready for it. If he throws you a decent one, catchable, then no problem.
Now the 1-2. He evens up the count. Again, he stays alive with a foul ball.
Good job just to get a piece. Live for another pitch. If you're Weeks, if you're Sip, you're thinking, okay, I made a pretty good pitch, and he just fouled it off. You don't want him to go to 3-2. He had him down on the count 0-2. He'd just like to get that first out.
And the 2-2 is a fair ball down the left field line. A's get on the board, and now the tying run is in the scoring position. So that run charged to Joe Smith.
I'll tell you what, that ball was a bullet down the line. Slider, not a good one. That was a flat slider that stays out over, and he just smokes it inside the bag. Al Porter down the line, getting out of the way. So Weeks goes into second, his 19th double. And the tying run aboard for Oakland.
And Coco Crisp, 1 for 3 on the night, steps in.
Well, now he's going to pay attention to that guy on second base. That's the tying run.
Sip delivers. Coco showing bunt, takes low, ball 1. Bob Melvin looking on. His club shut out through the first 7. But back-to-back doubles to open the 8th. Again, Crisp taking it's 2-0.
You know, he's trying to give himself up and get the guy to third base, but Tony Sipp falling behind. Now you can get there are more options for that manager. He can take off that bunt and let Coco, who's been around, a guy that's been around, go ahead and swing the bat. Their goal is to get him to third base so they can try and get him home and tie this game up with nobody out. I would say go ahead and continue to bunt him.
He squares, bunts it in the air. It drops. Santana's throw
How
to first.
about Weeks did not get to third base?
Well, the ball was in the air, and he probably felt like he had to hold because he didn't want to get doubled off.
That might have been a tough read, but
That's
you
what I'm saying,
you
yeah.
got to be off a third of the way, and if that ball hits the ground, you've got to be out. I mean, that may be a tough read. I want to look. Obviously, he felt that Sipp was going to come out there and get that ball. And watch Coco look around. He can't believe it. So that's a break for the Indians right there.
And with one out, Hideki Matsui, 1 for 3 on the night, is the batter. High fly ball, deep right field. Fukudome makes the catch up against the wall. Tagging and going to third is Weeks, but now there are 2 down. Going back to that, Rick, my thinking on that is if you're Weeks, once you have to freeze, you can't go, can you?
I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say in that situation, but if he gets to third, that fly ball scores,
He scores
him,
him,
obviously,
no question about it.
And he must. It's a tough call. I can't say anything from sitting up here. Obviously, he felt that somebody was going to catch the ball.
But I'm just saying, as a runner, if you have to freeze in that situation, can you still go?
You don't want to get started up again, no.
Well, Tony Sipp exits. Vinny Pistano is coming on to face the dangerous Josh Willingham with the tying run at third and 2 down in the 8th. Indians on top. Oakland has the tying run 90 feet away. 2 down in the 8th inning. Josh Willingham will be the batter. Vinny Pistano on now for the Indians.
Well, Vinny coming on to face their best hitter right here. Best RBI guy, best home run guy with 2 outs. Keep it a 1-run ball game.
Pistano delivers, and it's outside ball one. Willingham grounded to third in the first inning, called out on strikes in the fourth inning on a good breaking ball by David Huff. And then they intentionally walked him in the sixth, and that worked out well when Brandon Allen grounded out to end that inning. Two balls, no strikes. Speaking of Brandon Allen, he's on deck. Should Pistano wind up walking Willingham. Good fastball in there, 2-1. White Sox maintain a 1-0 lead over the Twins. They're in the sixth inning now in Chicago. Swung on and missed, blew it by him.
And good heater right there. Very good heater. Pistano, that ball gets on you in a hurry. Elevated and throw him another one right there, same spot. He's not going to get on top of that pitch. Keep it elevated.
2-strike pitch. Got him looking. Painted the outside corner. Willingham slams his batting helmet in frustration. The Indians lead at 2-1 now, middle of the eighth. Will stay in the game for Oakland. Just shy of 100 pitches on the night. He has struck out 9 Indians hitters. And Matt Laporta fouls it back. He has whiffed twice tonight. So has Cord Phelps, the on-deck hitter. Kosuke Fukudome with an RBI double with 2 outs in the 6th. And Carlos Santana's solo homer in the 7th. Providing the Indians offense tonight. Now Laporta pops it up on the infield. And the shortstop Pennington will make the catch for out number 1. Here's our in-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. Introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. Fukudome and Santana, each with a couple of hits. And each accounting for the Indians' runs tonight with the RBIs. Chris Perez getting loose in the Tribe bullpen.
Well, it looks like that what you were talking about earlier could hold true. 1-run ball game. You said 13. We're looking at number 14 right here.
Well, this for the Indians, this would be their 13th this month.
Okay, the 13th.
If it holds, yeah. And another strikeout for Phelps. 10 for McCarthy.
That's a new career high.
Stick around after the ball game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. We'll go back and look at the highlights, break it all down for you. And should the Indians hold on and win it, we'll talk with one of the stars of the game as well. Ezekiel Carrera. He singled with 2 outs in that 6th inning. And then with his speed was able to score all the way from first on Fukudome's double into the right field corner. One hopper to second. And we'll go to the 9th. 2-1 Cleveland. Chris Perez is coming on when we come back. Two-1 Indians, 9th inning here at Progressive Field. Chris Perez looking for his 30th save on the year. He'll have to do it in 1-run fashion. He'll face Brandon Allen, Connor Jackson, and Kurt Suzuki for Oakland here in the 9th. Brandon Allen is 0 for 3 in the game. And a fastball in there for strike one. Chris says a lot of times when you're coming out of the bullpen, especially in the closer's role where everything is hanging in the balance, those first couple of pitches are really big because it lets you know where you're at as far as your command is. He said, you throw a couple of strikes up there right out of the chute, your confidence soars. If you're all over the place with your first couple of pitches, then your mind starts going, uh-oh, what's going on here? And then you can see how it happens a lot of times with those late inning relievers.
Well, and you can see how they feel more comfortable at home when they come in because you have the crowd behind you instead of all over you.
Back out of play, 1-2. Well, you talk about home and road. It's a startling difference for Perez.
That's what I'm talking about.
1.59 ERA here as opposed to 4.43 on the road. Tried to get him to chase. He wouldn't do it. It's 2-2. Now the 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. He got him. One down here in the ninth.
Yeah, you got to keep the fastball elevated to Allen, and he does just that. That's about the same pitch that struck out on the first time up today. But Perez throws it by him, gets the first out. That's a big out.
Fastball strike over the outside corner. Checks on a ball down low. One. High pop foul. This is going to find the seats.
He might have swung at a ball. That ball was way inside, and he still got around on it. That tells me one thing right now. He's looking for one pitch. See if he's got that slider in his arsenal to go away. Look at this ball in. Way in. And he's still able to get around on that baseball. Dead red he's looking for. Slider down and away. There you go.
Ooh.
Just missed.
Yeah, not by much.
I know. That was a good pitch. That's what you're looking for. Just got it a little bit off the plate, and he didn't offer.
Perez with the 2-2. And he's out looking. Jackson sent packing by home plate umpire Rob Drake, and there are two down in the ninth. Oh, that's unhittable. At the knees on the outside corner.
Yeah, I'm telling you
Bang.
what, that's perfect pitch. Can't hit it. That's why you have to say something.
Kurt Suzuki 0 for 3. A little more than 18,000 here tonight. They're up on their feet. And the pitch to Suzuki is a little low for ball one. High pop. Shallow center. In comes Carrera. Out goes Cabrera. And Asdrubal makes the catch to end the game. The Indians win it 2-1. David Huff gets his second win. Chris Perez gets his 30th save. And the tough luck loser is Brandon McCarthy, who drops to 7-7 on the year despite going the distance for the third time on the season. With the win, the Indians are back above 500 at 66 and 65. Oakland drops to 60 and 74 on the year. So for the 13th time this month, the most one-run games in any month since August of 1978 for the Indians. The Tribe wins it 2-1. They're now 5-8 in their one-run games this month.
Well, I mean, this is a big one to get. The first game of the series, they were able to do it. I mean, a couple of timely hits and, another one-run ball game. We're used to seeing it.
Time now for the play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeast Ohio.
Well, and when you're in a one-run game, a man on second, nobody out, 2-0 count, Coco Chris going to lay down a bunt. Now watch this pitch. Up in the air. Weeks froze at second base. He didn't go. Now watch the look on Coco. Look back and say, I can't believe he didn't get to third base. That's the play. He bunted it up in the air and he froze. He couldn't move anywhere, and by the time they get the ball, he went back to second base. They don't get the runner over. They end up keeping it a one-run ball game. That's what did it. So that's going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
We're coming right back with the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show straight ahead.